Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. My client is an epidemiologist. Oh, by the way, I'm changing irrelevant details to protect my client's anonymity. Anyway, my client is an epidemiologist. Actually, he's not, but something like that. Who is part of a team that tried to assess whether COVID contact tracing is worth taxpayer dollars. Unfortunately, because there were so many uncontrollable factors, or at least inadequately controllable factors, despite that high-powered team putting in 12-hour days for months, they couldn't come up with a clear enough result to publish. My client's boss invited the team to take a week off with pay to recover from that long, fruitless effort. It was then that my client had his most recent session with me. I asked him what he wanted to talk about, and he said something like, "I'm burned. I need to take care of myself. I've been bad about exercise. I'm eating too much. I'd like to read more, not professional stuff, but novels. In the past, I've tried to get into those habits, and I was good for a day, maybe even a week. But soon I was back off the wagon." Well, we started with exercise. After asking him some questions, I said, we tend to stay with an exercise regime, or regimen, I guess, if it's at least pleasant and convenient to do. For you, does anything fit the bill? And he described 4 possibilities, and he ended up concluding that he would treat those 4 like a menu of options. When he could spare 5 hours, he wanted to play 18 holes of golf, walking the course. He said that he'd like to meet new people in his age bracket, so I asked if he wanted to call the golf scheduler and see if he could get placed as the 4th member of a foursome, and he liked that. When he has a couple of hours, not 5, free, he wants to play tennis. When his kid wants to play basketball with him, he would do that, which he said happens once or twice a week. On other days, he said he'd fill in with his Peloton, maybe with one of its video classes. You can take one of those while you're on the Peloton. Anyway, he said that while he doesn't hate the Peloton, it's the least favorite of the 4 activities. So I suggested that he link it to dinner. If it's a day he knows he should use the Peloton, he's got to do that before allowing himself to have dinner. Will it work? Who knows? Finally, I said, consider this plan as a pilot test. If after a week, even a day, you feel you should tweak or reinvent the plan, fine. Think of it as like one of your experiments at work. Try it. If it works, great. If not, design another experiment. Next, we turned to diet, and he said he wants to lose 10 pounds. I said, okay, that doesn't require massive changes. In fact, a good approach to sustaining weight loss is to make just small changes that likely could be permanent, like if you routinely, as they say, clean your plate, make a rule to leave 2 bites. If you love having bread at a restaurant, instead of the usual 3 pieces, have 2. Instead of the entree you most love, have one you like almost as much but that is less calorific. For example, linguine with clam sauce rather than linguine Alfredo. He agreed that it was worth a try. I reminded him that it is just an experiment, and as he's trying it, to ask himself if and how the plan should be changed. Finally, we turned to his desire to read novels. He said he had started many, but had usually stopped. I said, Father Nemko, if he was a Jew, I would say Rabbi Nemko, but he's not. I said, Father Nemko, or if he's a Protestant, I would say Pastor Nemko, gives you dispensation. Reading a novel is a major commitment. Unless it's riveting, you're right to stop and try something else. There are millions of novels available, easily searchable on Amazon or in a favorite bricks-and-mortar store. I asked if he knows what novel he'd like to read, or to reread an old favorite. He said no, whereupon I said, the most riveting novel I've read in the last few years is the National Book Award finalist and Pulitzer Prize winner, All the Light We Cannot See. In a nutshell, it's a well-told story of 2 very different kids during World War II, and he said he'd try it. I asked him how he could make reading a novel convenient. He said that he'll have the book sitting on his pillow, or he'll listen to it as an audiobook on his phone, so he has it whether he's walking or waiting in line or in some office or whatever, or in the car. Again, I encouraged him to have an experimental mindset, even if it's just after the first few pages. I said, if your guts, tells you that there's probably a better suited book out there, stop reading it and go on a treasure hunt to find it. The takeaway? Here is the process, the 4 steps summarized. Number 1, find a pleasant way. Is there an easy, even fun version of the new habit you're trying to accomplish? If you want to, if you want to stop smoking or doing drugs, can you substitute some really fun activity for it that's less dangerous? In addition, would you find you'll add pleasure to this attempt to change by charting your progress? Some people do, some people don't. Even giving yourself a reward for meeting little milestones, like, having completed your exercise plans first day, playing on the internet to find some video game that you might enjoy playing. Step 2, step 1 was finding a pleasant way. Step 2, make it convenient. If you're trying to, say, eat healthier, I, for example, personally have put a bag of pre-peeled baby carrots and my favorite salsa eye level in my refrigerator. I've made my nemesis, which is cheese, harder to get to. I didn't throw it out, to be honest, but I made it harder to get to. It's in the produce bin behind the lettuce. Step 3, routinize. Make a routine or ritual, whatever you want to call it. Link the new habit to something you never skip. For example, if you want to use brush picks, which, by the way, are better than floss, brush picks, one word, look it up, you'll see. If you want to use brush picks before you go to bed each night, make inviolate that after you've brushed your teeth, you can hop into bed only after you've used the brush picks. And they're not uncomfortable. It's kind of fun to feel the little particles of food get pushed away out of your gums. Anyway, and you've made that convenient by storing it next to the toothpaste. And finally, step 4, pilot. The first version of your plan for developing a new habit may need tweaking, if not reinvention. That's just fine. It's like software. The beta version, or even versions 1.0 or 2.0 may be buggy, but a later version may well be a keeper, by which time your new habit may have become automatic. And it may be easier to remember the 4 steps if you remember it as an abbreviation. PCRP, pleasant, convenient, routinize, and pilot, PCRP. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.